live for the first time in a long time as we discuss the finer notes of taxation being theft versus robbery versus extortion. Hi everyone, I've missed you all. It has been a long time. We're finally back. See, here's the faces. Here's the faces of the people. We got Stuart who's back. Next to Stuart, we have Shelby, whose face you have never seen in the confines of Naturally One. We've got Jim, the illustrious Jim. I mean, you've got a cat somewhere, so that makes you somewhat illustrious.
Well, he's hiding behind me.
And Dave. The angles are starting to. There we go, Dave. And then
what's illustrious?
What's just illustrious? If it's illustrious, that's a good question. Unless the ill part, it's ill and ustrious is its own as opposed to illustrious. I don't actually know. I don't speak whatever root language that comes from. And last but not least, we have Sam, the dead one.
Communing to you from the ghost world, the worlds beyond.
Stuart, are you actually looking up the...
How's the weather there? Oh, no. No. I don't care that much.
I do. I was hoping you were looking it up. That's why I wasn't.
The root of illustrious?
Yep.
Is it in fact just illustrious?
The etymology of the word illustrious.
Illustrious. It's Latin, meaning shining brightly with light.
Luster.
Luster dust. Oh.
Lighted bright brilliantly. Figurative.
Shine bright like a diamond kind of thing.
Hey!
Shine bright like a diamond. See, this is what it's really all about. It's been too freaking long. I was checking the previous dates of streams and things, and the last time we played D&D together was August 1st.
Ooh.
Wow. It was still summer.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was the last time we played in D&D. Last time any of us hang out on stream was August 22nd or 23rd, whatever that was. That was the last time any of us hung out and just we did some map building. I think Grady joined us. Was that when Grady joined us?
That was fun. I liked that.
That sounds familiar.
It was. Yeah, I worked on some map stuff.
I remember you mentioning that he was going to join.
Yeah. Need to get in touch with him because we haven't played in a while, and I know his life got a bit busy and hectic, but I need to get in touch with him and see where things are at with those things, because guys, I promise. I know I've been promising for as long as we've been doing this campaign, but I do promise the podcast is coming.
It's been 2 years.
We haven't hit the 2-year mark yet. We didn't go live with episode 1 until November sometime. We got time before it's 2-year mark. I know we've... Plus, this is only episode 24. This is only episode 24. In 2 years, oh my gosh, that's not a great average, honestly.
Yeah. 10 episodes a year.
Do the math again, Stuart. Do the math again, Stuart.
I don't want to.
How many episodes a year?
It was 20. We're on episode 24, and it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
So 12.
One a month.
Close enough.
There we go. I mean, 1 a month. That's an okay-ish average if we were consistently playing once a month. But occasionally we'll do 3 in a month or 4 in a month, and then we take an unplanned 3-month hiatus. It's fine. It's fine. Oh. Okay. So for before we dive into the wonderful world of Dungeons and Dragons, I posted a little bit about this in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, there are links if you do #Discord. Not #, exclamation point Discord. In the chat, it'll get you the Discord link. The short version is that I'm back to being able to stream on Tuesdays, so hopefully D&D will be a semi-regular thing. Fridays and weekends, like Fridays and Sundays, are kind of still up in the air just because we're entering the holiday season, and also I have people visiting family-wise. We have holidays. I have some traveling I am doing. as well. So it might be like December before we have a semi-regular cadence with Fridays and or Sundays. But Tuesdays, pending you guys, should be wide open for D&D.
I mean, I'm still off for 3 weeks, so
That is correct. Shelby, you've got the magic get out of jail free card.
I'm available every day for the next 3 weeks, basically, because I had back surgery last week.
Yeah.
What?
I wish you were available for
What?
better reasons. I'm so sorry, Shelby.
Yep, last Thursday I was wheeled in and they were like, "We're gonna cut away part of your spine," and I said, "Okay, that'd be great."
Which
Mhm.
part?
My L5, so one of my lowest lumbar
Oh,
columns. I had a 11
don't need
millimeter
that.
herniated disc, and the only way to fix it was surgery.
Yikes.
Oh.
how did you herniate it?
Back in July, every time I've been complaining about hurting and my back hurting, this is all from that original injury in July.
Well,
I was lifting a suitcase.
Mm, yeah, I feel that. I sprained my ankle.
That hurts. That
Yeah.
hurts big time.
So it's I wouldn't say basically the same thing because yours is like done and mine still hurts.
Yeah, I can't pick anything more than 5 or 10 pounds up for the first 2 weeks. So like I have to like walk out and have my parents like lift up things for me in my room because I can't lift them.
Yeah, I sometimes it hurts to bend my ankle in a weird way. So
Moral of the
does
story,
sound
kids,
kinda
is
good.
lift with your knees, not your ankles or your back.
and if you do lift with your back, make sure it is in a jerking, twisting motion.
Yes, that is a full
It's good
guaranteed
form.
way to
It's just
to
good
get
form.
that.
As a strength and conditioning coach, I concur.
Oh no.
Agreed.
I'm not
As
sure.
someone who's read Tortla, I also concur.
As someone who used to do martial arts, I also concur. However, they also do teach you lots of twisting and lifting motions in martial arts. So it seems very contradictory when they tell you not to do the thing and then they have you practice doing the thing. I don't fully understand, but
What style were you studying?
there's Taekwondo, which does require like actual like sweeping motions, which are
Was it ATA or other Taekwondo?
I don't. I guess it would be an AT, whatever the run of the mill Taekwondo is. It was actually a Taekwondo and Hapkido dual school. So
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Nettie says, as someone who did martial arts, I can concur. Getting punched does hurt.
Have you ever? Well, nah. I don't want to put it out there because then it'll happen. But I feel like I need to be punched in the face, like for real. You know what I mean?
Why?
That's like a life
One good
experience.
swing.
Just like in a bar, you know.
All right. So when we eventually have the when we become wildly famous for Naturally One and we all do like the convention touring and meet up in one place,
Oh, no.
we will
No,
make
no.
sure that on stage on our first tour, we circle back to this moment and
it could
we
be a
will
milestone. It could be a donation.
Dave,
milestone or
Jim,
something.
Shelby, Sam, we can all like arm wrestle tournament to figure out which of us is the strongest, and then the strongest one of us gets to deck Stewart on stage
No. We sell
before
tickets.
we play D&D.
That's what it is. It's a raffle. We advertise tickets for a raffle for anyone in the audience, and we rig it so that it is a, mother in her 60s. I don't know. That's a
No. No.
I'm gonna go
Teenage
find.
girl.
I'm gonna go find.
teenage girl.
I'm gonna go. Okay, a bodybuilder, teenage girl, who's power lifter, shredded.
Silent auction for the ability to punch too.
Benches 250 without breaking a sweat. And just. You invited this into your life, Stuart. You invited this into your life by saying you wanted to get punched in the face.
But see, I want it to have an organic. That's what like the bar. I want it organically. I don't want it. I don't want it.
That's.
I need to.
You
not
do you
know
understand
it's
how that's worse? Correct. Because then you have even less control over the situation. At least in this case, I was going to say it's going to be one of us.
One of us.
One of
But
us.
see,
Now
what I
you're
don't
saying it
want
could
to
be the
happen is-
strongest drunk guy in the bar is going to be able to just
I wouldn't pick a
deck
fight
ya.
with the strongest.
Terrible idea.
Well, see, Stuart, if you view it in a bar, the bouncer is typically one of the strongest guys, and they're usually
He
the one
won't
who
get
has
involved.
to. Will he though?
Nah.
How are you starting this bar brawl?
I'm already friends. First of all, I didn't start it. Some other guy started it. I was trying to be the voice of reason, and one of his friends tried to sucker punch the other guy, but he missed and got me.
Y'all are hearing this story, and this is going to be recorded in the annals of history. That Stuart firmly believes he's going to be the one who is not only not starting the fight, but also the voice of reason trying to prevent the fight.
Maybe not trying to prevent, but the voice of reason that's not actively trying to make things. Maybe not the voice of reason.
Tomorrow,
this sounds like
pigs are going to
Stu and I at
grow
a bar, and
wings.
he's trying to save my butt and gets punched in the face.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Dave, you lack a voice of reason so badly that Stuart is the closest qualifier.
Yeah,
Stuart
and
is like
usually he
80%
does
of
it
his
in the
impulse
Rinningham
control.
voice too, which is even worse.
That's how I get it. And that's why they want to punch me in the face.
Now I
Doing the
understand.
voice.
Now
Yeah,
I get it.
Why did I come back to this? Why did we decide to keep doing this? I've missed you guys. I've missed you guys a lot.
I also
okay,
kind of want somebody to break my nose. Because I hate, like, I don't know if you can see, I'm wearing glasses, but I have like a really crooked nose. First of all, it's crooked like angle wise, but then I also have like a.
You know, there are guys
You've
who
got
go to
the
medical
Owen
school that can do that for you.
Nah.
You've got the Owen Wilson nose. Like, that's a thing.
Wow.
Nailed it. Look at this, guys.
Wow.
Ladies and gents. Here we go. The next Owen Wilson. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Stuart, I want you to say wow as if it's a bunch of lightsabers clashing in a violent duel.
Wow.
Wow,
do it.
wow, wow,
Wow.
wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
All right. Well, anyone else have anything exciting before we rash course myself, you guys, and the audience through the last bit of D&D since we've, last rolled some dice together? Anybody else? No one else got anything exciting. Jim, life's good. Life's good, Jim.
I know that in December, on December 11th and 12th, and the 12th, I'm definitely not going to be in the mood to play. I'll be in a week-long felony trial, but that's the only exciting thing in my life.
What'd you do?
Me? I made the stupid mistake of going to law school.
Oh, you're not like in it. You're like,
No,
You
I'm
haven't
the
snapped yet
prosecutor.
and gone on a binge.
I'm tempted to.
going on.
Arson, murder, and jaywalking, Natty, in that order. The jaywalking is the most serious.
Wait, arson and jaywalking is the most serious?
Arson, murder, and jaywalking.
Oh, murder. I didn't miss the murder. Murder.
It was murder.
These
Murder,
are all,
murder,
all
murder.
three of these charges are concurrent.
Interestingly, for the kiddos that I deal with, maybe not. Depends on what they actually get convicted of.
Okay.
No, the trial that I'm doing is not actually arson, murder, and jaywalking. It's a drive-by shooting at a school.
Ooh.
That sounds worse.
There we go. It is worse. It's bad. It's really bad. Anywho, that's your heads up. I won't be available on December 12th because I will be dead tired.
That's future us's problem. Current me can't process for future me. I wish I could.
Other than that, Nothing exciting in my life. That's it. Just boring old stuff.
Future me and past me have very interesting relationship dynamic. We hate each other.
Yeah, future me holds me
One's more
responsible for certain
apathetic towards the other
things.
one, and so the other one really hates the other one.
May I suggest that current you mediates between the two?
I don't have the time. They're both idiots.
Oh my gosh, I did the wrong episode title here on the stream. Let's fix that real fast before we actually get this bad boy going. It is episode 24, Naturally One. So, when we last left off, it's been over 2 months now, so 2.5, almost 3 months ago.
Man.
Sorry. The party had been adventuring, as they do, in the mines to the west of the city of Golden Spires. The Foundry Zone, a small city in and of itself, with living spaces, workspaces, some base entertainment, small shanty town of thrown together structures, and then endless tunnels, just miles and miles of endless tunnels that the party started to explore in pursuit of their friend Chlor, who had been kidnapped while they were trying to infiltrate and suss out some of the changelings that they believe are associated with some terroristic style activities in the city of Golden Spires. Upon returning back to the Foundry after finding Chlor and unfortunately losing Theo along the way, party has been trying to figure out really how to go about their next steps. How do they find this group? How do they suss them out? How do they get themselves involved in a way that can be helpful to their current predicament? Along those lines, they were in various ways informed that the bracelets given to them by the captain of the guard may not be the most helpful of items for them, and more so possibly to the legal system at large. Creating a side element of, do we want to get these things off, and how quickly can we do so? They have yet to come up with a formal plan that has been openly communicated to the world, namely me, to have any semblance of a clue as to how we are going to go forward on some of these things. But it's fine. You guys are currently holed up in a brothel, where you had spent it's not a small sum, compared to other lodgings that you've stayed at, to make yourself very comfortable, and had your nice long rest in piles of cushions and blankets, and there's all sorts of fun accoutrements still hanging on the walls when you wake up. And that's really where we are. Curled up in a incense and perfume filled space that's larger on the inside than it is on the outside, and
our own
the middle
personal
of the Foundry.
Just like your mom.
Wow, okay. We're there already.
In game. I said that to the one of the waitresses that brought me something after I'd been drinking a lot. It was a funny joke. She laughed.
Roll me some percentile dice.
She actually found it funny. I think that.
Roll me some percentile dice, there, Stuart.
Oh, right. We're doing this right now.
Oh, we're doing this right now. We're doing this right now.
It wasn't.
DM, you should give her a
deserve to get
penalty on
slapped.
this because she has to play nice if she wants a tip.
Oh, I'll give her a tip.
Don't eat yellow
Give
snow.
him a second penalty,
Just
DM. That was uncalled for.
96. 96 was the roll.
Roll me a persuasion check. Just roll me a persuasion check.
Easy clap. That's a 26. I'm endearing. I'm small.
that actually was you kind of took some of the word. So it's morning. You're still waking up. Some of the matrons of the house, for lack of better phrasing, are coming to check and make sure you guys are all right, and not really sure what the context is of such a comment that Rinningham, is waking up, stretching, and this little, his cute little 3.5 foot tall green guy, just kind of sits up and, it's like, that's what your mother said, or, your mom or whatever it is that whatever you said. And, you can see a cute little elven woman is like peeking her head through, and she's just kind of like waving, like, just checking in to make sure everything's okay. And she kind of looks at you, Rinningham, and chuckles, and then, do you need anything?
What did you bring here? Is this coffee? Is this grapefruit juice? What is that, French toast sticks? What do you got? What is it? This platter? Is this an omelet?
She kind of looks around. She kind of looks around. Usually it's like something with electrolytes, but did you guys even use this space?
Well, I mean, I slept here. You slept. We slept here. You guys slept, and I look around at everyone else. You guys slept here. What do you use it? How else?
You're on your own with this explanation there, Runningham.
My explanation. I'm asking what she's talking about. We just came here to sleep, catch our bearings.
No, but because you just said that with her mom, and then she said that you.
I had no idea what she was talking about. I just had a weird dream, and usually when I wake up at the first, like to begin, I don't really know what is going on.
As this continues to go on, you can see her smile started off as endearing and now is just more polite. Well, if you need anything, just come up to the desk and we'll get you figured out. Okay, bye.
All right. What's
He was
the
a
plan?
strange one. I don't know. That was weird.
Runningham, are we starting a fire?
To get out of here? I mean, we can just pay.
Well, I thought our plan was to start a fire and then blame it on the changelings.
Oh.
I slept on
it.
I slept on it, and I'm coming around to that idea.
Yeah. We could burn this brothel. Well, let's get breakfast first. Then we burn the brothel to the ground. Maybe not to the ground. We start a fire. You know what? Can we call 912? What's the phone number here? Somebody go get the bucket brigade. Get them started first. We can minimize damage, but still cause a ruckus.
I'm sorry, nothing's more suspicious than a preemptive call for emergency services.
Well, I mean, they would understand.
My character has this niggling thing in the back of his head going, seems like I should know from some past life that starting a fire is not always a good way of creating a distraction.
No fires. No fires.
There's nothing. I mean, but just some.
No.
But
none.
We're not the ones. We won't stick around. It'll just be here.
Not a single one.
Fires have worked out for this group so well in the past.
Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll be a controlled fire. You know how? So in forestry, typically what they have is controlled burns.
I'm gonna control burn you pretty quick if you suggest fire again.
Well, how about a flood?
Oh.
Be kind of the opposite of a fire, huh?
It's not a fire.
What about both at the same time? They cancel each other out, but create chaos.
Oh, yeah. We engineer a fire. Then
Explain to me how that's going to work. How is that going to help?
Well,
if step 1 is flood, what's step 2?
Step 2 is blame the people that captured Chlor, and I think you were captured as well at some point. And make a name for themselves because they try to be like kind of hidden. Like not a lot of people know what they are. But if you start making noise, squeaky wheel, everyone hears.
Bring them out.
So you want to cause the terrorist attack and try to frame the actual group committing real terrorist attacks and
Yeah.
hope that the police investigating our terrorist attack don't find out it was us and somehow find out that it was the changelings.
Bingo. We blame the changelings. And also, I don't like our terrorist attack. Who is the terrorist here?
Penn just looks at Renningham pointedly.
I plead the 7th. 5th. 6th.
We have no constitution here. What are you talking about?
I'm pleading to stop
Oh,
talking.
okay. You were pleading numbers. I didn't quite get it.
Yes. It makes
Is there
people...
a god of numbers that we should know about?
Mm-hmm. He keeps people from asking questions.
Insight check.
Actually,
That's a religion check.
Renningham, give me a history check with advantage.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, 21. Do something for me.
So, you used to be part of the upper crust of the, legal... The upper crust of the part of the legal... Damn it, can I have a sentence?
Sorry.
No sentence for you.
This nice, puffed, cheesy, stuffed with, bureaucrat upper crust that you used to be part of.
Garlic parmesan.
Way back in the day, yes.
Yeah, dude.
Lots of herbs and spices were in your palate.
Is it 11 herbs and spices?
It depends. Only if the drinks also had 23 flavors.
Oh, okay. So it's in the southern part of the region.
Oh, that sounds so good right now. Like an ice cold Dr. Pepper.
Now I want Dr. Pepper. Anyway, you recall back to your time decades ago, where the legal system was actually in the middle of a bit of an overhaul. And your
one of my drinking buddies,
your mentor / drinking buddy, let's just be honest, was heavily involved in a lot of the establishment of what the new system of rights were going to be for, citizens versus non-citizens, and just what that layout was going to be. A concept of pleading the 5th, not in the records.
Well, either way, they're not going to get anything out of me.
Seems like an oversight.
Well, actually, they won't get anything incriminating out of me. What they will get out of me is just a blatant disrespect for these changelings who have been terrorizing this town, and they don't even know. I mean, honestly, the police force, whoever's in charge of investigating these kinds of things, they should be embarrassed that this much stuff is happening on their watch. And we just happen to be in an area where they started a fire or a flood. I know we're not completely sold on chaos.
That's
okay.
the best you can come up with.
Follow-up option, we start snooping around on how to get the bracelets off of us. And then that could lead us to them because someone in their organization took the bracelet off of me.
I agree with
So-
Clark.
We could go that direction.
We could advertise that we're on the market for bracelet removal. So we start with jewelers.
You're not really big on discretion, are you, Renningham?
How do you discreetly ask for someone to take a bracelet off of you?
I kind of am with Renningham here. I don't know if we want to be discreet. I think we want to lure them to us. So I think we want people to know we're kind of poking around, asking questions here.
Listen, I'm up for discretion as much as the next guy. Stealthy, little secretliness. But sometimes you just gotta poke the bear. Sometimes you gotta fart in an elevator.
It's an ele-
What? I heard I heard one of the other guys, one of the other people here say it. I thought it was kind of weird, but it fits. You think about it.
You've taken elevators. You took one up to your rooms in the elevators exist.
Yeah. And if someone farts in it, you know who it was.
It was
You.
No,
No.
I know who it was because I'm staring down the barrel.
Why
That's
are you
fair.
doing that?
That's nose height for me. I can't help it.
So to a drooler.
A drooler?
A
That's what I thought.
drooler.
I mean, I don't think we have to go anywhere if we're looking for a drooler. We're kind of in the right spot.
I look at Rinningham's pillow. Drool all over it.
I was like that when I got here.
Are we sure it's
No,
drool?
We didn't pay for turn down service.
Oh, no.
So how can we get these bracelets off?
A jeweler.
Okay.
Ask them if they have a way to remove magical items. At the very least, they can point us in the right direction.
I think also maybe we find a city enchanter because these are like magical bracelets, right? Can I try to
Yeah.
roll like a? Well, I guess I don't need to. We already know they're magical.
They can
Naturally.
track us with them. I don't know
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I told you guys that, but they can.
Okay.
Well, and also
to the
you
group.
you know that something's up with them when you put them on and they immediately like shrunk down immediately to skin tight, but like not restrictive. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I like that plan. Let's do it. Would we have passed, walked by, or seen any of those options, an enchanter or a jeweler, on the way through that area that we were staying in?
Give me a just a flat intelligence check. Not a save, just a check.
Just to check. A normal +2, that is a 17.
So you recall as you've traveled, down here, it doesn't look like there's many specialty craftsmen in general. It's the shanty town area that you're even in. As you were walking through, it was lots of like various food vendors, lots of pawn shop style setups, other shady purveyors of goods, not necessarily contraband, but possibly just stuff that's harder to get down here without paying a pretty penny to get it transported directly, and still cheaper to go through some of the less than legal channels or less than normal channels. It's not really a fine establishment where you'd find a jeweler. So it might take some sussing out if there's anyone who has that skill set.
What about a blacksmith?
Yeah, or like an enchanter, someone that deals in magical artifacts.
Blacksmith, there's tons of smithies down here. I mean, that's some of them are more industrial as opposed to crafty, but someone's got to make the tools, and you're in the right place with all the materials. So there's definitely some skilled folks here. It's just a matter of, do they have those skills? If you find them, you have to ask around. And then when it comes to an enchanter, you might. I mean, Rinningham, you have those gloves, and those had to be made somewhere.
But is that again more of like an industrial enchanter?
Potentially, but so someone's got to learn somewhere, and sometimes you start small. So who knows what they know? Who knows what they dabble in?
Start with enchanter then.
Okay.
So let's kind of walk out there and ask around a little bit. maybe where your gloves that you took were made.
Just start flashing around.
Well-
Okay, yeah. Well, not flashing around, but I got you. So, I want to find. Did I get the name of the servant lady that came in to give me my
You did not.
grapefruit juice? Dang.
You did not. You did not ask her name.
Well,
Rude.
I know. Well, I mean, it was still early. I was kind of half asleep. She was trying to get out of there. It made sense. Okay. So I'll maybe want to go to the front desk. I mean, do we need to do anything else in here, or are we good to go? Are we good to like leave? Because we talk to the front desk lady and or the mate, the hostess.
With the mostess?
Yeah. And can maybe see about like who if there's anyone that would repair magical items or could potentially repair magical items and kind of lead us in the right direction in terms of finding somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless anybody wants to stick around here, catch a few more Z's.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So I want to go to the hostess, and I actually want to have my gloves out, and I want to kind of be walking down the stairs, or I guess we were upstairs. I am envisioning we're upstairs. Kind of
It was
walk
all.
downstairs.
It was all one floor.
Yeah. So come out of my room, kind of mess with my gloves, kind of put them on, pretending like they don't fit very well. And I want to walk up to the hostess and say, since whatever happened last night, these kind of shrink overnight. I know that leather usually shrinks when it gets wet, but I thought, being magical and all, these might have had some sort of resilience, maybe like a special coating. But man, I really need to find somebody that can fix this. This is kind of annoying. And I like pause and look right at her.
So it's not someone you recognize at all. It's not the half elf, or not half elf, the elven girl who had peeked her head in. And roll me a quick intelligence check. Just straight intelligence check.
Oh, 10.
You came into this place plastered.
Mm.
So you very much have to kind of sort of, there's no curtains as you're walking down the hallways that are basically all made of curtains. And it's really just kind of meandering your way to the front. And there's a place that you believe is the front, and there's someone you just totally don't recognize. They're sitting at a desk. Half orcish, standing tall, kind of shredded, looks down at you, kind of big teeth and big cheesy smile. Got some magic gloves there, don't you?
Well, they used to
some-
be, and they really only work if you put them on, but I just can't seem to get them on. I mean, I don't know if the magic is broken because they fit, I mean, you're familiar with magic things. They just kind of fit, they just work.
She looks at you and she's like, I know exactly what those gloves do. And you must be into some interesting stuff bringing those gloves in here. You're saying they don't work anymore. Do you have time to test them out again?
I would love to test them out, but like I said, they don't work. I tested them this morning, actually. As I was waking up, I usually like my coffee a little hot, but I burned my hands on them. The gloves weren't working the way they were supposed to.
Don't we all? I'm sure you could find someone around here who can swap those out for you. I believe they're made back in the city. I don't know if they have any repair facilities, but I know they're made back in the city and shipped out here. But damn, never thought I'd see someone like you walking around with a pair of gloves like that.
I'm really full of surprises. A lot of people don't recognize that. Thank you.
Well, next time you're in this neck of the woods, I'd be interested in seeing what kind of surprises you into there, big guy.
Oh, I do have a few cards.
But,
Well, no, I left my cards. Yeah.
you go check out the supply, the storage setup where people get outfitted for heading into the mines. They might be able to help you out there with at least some replacements if they can't point you in the direction of someone who can fix them for you. It's a darn shame, because I can only imagine your hands being pretty coarse now after them not working.
Well, I mean, I didn't hold on to it, right? I just kind of like, ooh, and then it was done. So it's they're really fine. It's okay.
Uh-huh.
But the way what was the name of the place you called it? The Outfitters?
Yeah, it's on the little northwest of here.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, hey, thanks, friend. That's real nice.
Anytime. Do you just head out on your own? Like, is the rest of the party just still like packing up and?
Oh no, I was standing there watching it the whole time, just thoroughly enjoying it.
Same.
Just shaking my head. No. No.
We'll just
My
follow. We'll
party.
just follow Rittingham out. I'm gonna wink at our new friend here on the way out.
Whole posse, you guys, and all of you are in one piece. Interesting.
Do most people? Yeah. Do most people leave in pieces? I don't.
You'd be surprised what you see down here. Toothy, tusky grin. Just
yeah.
Till next time. Feel free to come back.
Well, big gulps, huh? All right. See you later.
As you pull the curtain aside to head back out into the streets, the first thing that hits you again is the noise. The second thing to hit you is just the fact that the air just isn't clean. It's got this machine metallic, smoky, dusty cacophony of sensation all kind of going on your senses. People are bustling by. It's morning. People are, the shift changes going on. You see people sitting down. Some of the counters that are just now like opening up. Other ones are sitting there. You can see they're on possibly their second bowl of something, cup of steaming something. Probably coffee. Probably not great, but, gets you by as folks are either ending their shifts or starting.
Just a quick point of order. Since we're running around and we're amongst a bunch of folks, et cetera, I just went ahead and bought a sling to put into my equipment. So I'm going to assume that at some point in time, we can wander into a place where I can actually buy one in-game.
That can be arranged.
Okay, cool.
Did you hurt your arm?
Oh, it's terribly wounded. It's yeah. The tourniquet's going to be my next toy.
Really twisting my arm to find you both of those.
Well, no, we just need the sling first. We'll worry about the tourniquet later.
But I got what you did, Doug.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm just pretending. I'm just cruising right on by as if I didn't.
Well, we'll let this joke bleed out. So you want to find a place to
Don't
get
fracture
a
the conversation like that.
This.
It's all fun and games till somebody
here.
ends up in surgery for these wounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, your
Go out
cast.
on a limb here.
I have nothing funny to add.
Who's on first?
Look, every group needs a straight man to play off the others, and when they do funny things, your job is just to not react. You're doing
It really
great.
was a joint effort between the lot of you. It really was.
No bones about it.
I know. It was a bit of a stretch. I tried.
I'm really straining this conversation.
So, looking for a shop that has a sling, as well as heading towards the outfitters to go and see if you can get yourself some information about your gloves there, Brittingham.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who of you navigated your way here. I want to say it was Bob and Penn who found this place. Does that sound familiar? I want to say one of you was posing
My
as.
memory's very fuzzy.
I believe that someone was.
because we were
Chlor.
pretending to be a couple.
That's what it was. That was what it was.
That is correct.
Because Rinningham and Bob were drinking. That's where that happened. Which is why Rinningham doesn't remember.
I mean, the dead one's ashes might be with us, so he might have come along. Theo. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Theo.
R.I.P. in peace.
Rest in peace and peace? Rip in peace? Rip in pieces?
Rip in ashes?
Rip in peace.
I don't even know, man.
Gosh, the lack of Adderall is strong with this group. So.
It is. If Theo were actually here and alive, he wouldn't have known what type of establishment everyone was going into. So presume Ghost Theo doesn't either. He'd be like, what a fancy hotel. Nicest place I've ever stayed.
Silk sheets.
Exactly. All these people around here, they sure do dress pretty. Nice place.
It would have been an educational experience, to say the
Yes.
least.
Oh, definitely.
The tough
definitely.
part that we never got to see is he may not have known the establishment when he was going in, but Chlor would have made sure he understood the establishment before he left.
No. Oh.
But we'll never
Sounds
know.
like there's a fanfic.
Oh no.
Oh well.
Coming to you in a archive of our own near you. All right, where were we? Streets, cacophony, noises, shops opening up, and people eating breakfast. And you want to head to find a place to get a sling, and then to the outfitters. So the two of you who are sober definitely have a concept of how to navigate the streets here. Many of the shops are kind of sort of slapped together with random materials, and so if you're not paying close attention to your footing, you may end up like squeezing yourself between two buildings thinking it's a street. Floor and Pen, you guys have enough wherewithal to kind of help ensure that you guys can get guided out if you needed to, or not down one of these not so traversable alleyways. Outside of that, however, to say that you know how to place a particular building or a particular shop outside of the one that you've laser focused in on, to get into the brothel, not really sure. No shops were really open at the time. Things were kind of in a weird, like, quiet phase when you came here the first time. So, to answer at least Bob's necessity for a sling, you may have to go hunting and pecking. Otherwise, it's more of a matter of getting out to head towards the outfitting.
Yeah, I think I'll just ask somebody we're passing by where the nearest medical tent is, because I feel as though with the nature of the work done down here and the people living here, they need fixing up quite regularly.
Point of order, Bob. Are you referring to a sling as a weapon or a sling as in for your arm?
As a weapon.
Oh, yeah, that was...
That's
Yeah,
how
I
I
feel like-
interpreted it,
I feel
but I
like
wanted
we
to
got
make
that.
sure.
I feel like we could
No,
get that
it's
also at the
just
supply store.
your garden variety, 2 chunks of leather with another piece of leather sewn in.
Throw rocks at things.
Yeah.
Sling. Yeah.
Yeah.
When
something
Bob
used to-
wishes to pray to nature and then take on Goliath, just
Now I'm praying to Grizzly Adams and then taking on Goliath.
see, I would have expected you to pray to the thing and then take on Grizzly Adams, who is effectively a
Well,
Goliath.
no, he gets along with the grizzly. He's not mean to it.
Are we talking about a show? Was that us that was talking about a show where a guy lived with grizzlies and then he got eaten by them?
That was not us, but I've heard about that.
Okay.
Wasn't it him and his girlfriend?
Couldn't tell you. It was last.
Yes.
That's what it was. It was the night. It was last night. That's what I remember.
So then I guess I'll ask somebody where the nearest supply store is.
All right.
I'd like to pick
Shall-
out somebody that is walking with a sense that they know what they're doing, like they have some place to be, so it can be kind of one of those like, yeah, over there, and then just keep moving.
Shelby, describe to
Hmm.
me a person who meets Clore's criteria. Give me like height, race, hair color, skin color, just first thoughts that come to mind. Person who has sense of directionality.
There is a brick-colored, 5'1" orc with spectacles who's moving at a pace that he clearly is going somewhere and is carrying some bundles under his arm.
Ah, yes, excuse me, sir. Sorry to bother you. Where's the closest supply store? Me and my friends have items we need to acquire.
Well, that'll depend on what kind of supplies you need there, friend. Looks at the bundle under his arm. I got myself here some timbers and some writing utensils. And got that over there. And so it depends on what you need, my friend.
Well, we'd like to start with maybe potentially a jeweler or a weapons cache.
Those are very, very different needs. Weapons cache, they don't really take too kindly to weapons down here, unless you're part of the front, trying to make sure you fend off the things that crawl in the deep, and keep them from infesting the mines. So we do have...
That's where we just came from when we lost our weapons, so we need to resupply.
Looks you over. Well, that would be to the northeast. There's a station about a quarter of a mile into the main tunnel. That's got some of those supplies. Though they typically check them in, check them out, and use that as a bit of a record for losses on the front lines of the exploratory efforts, if you will.
Yes.
As for a jeweler, there's some who, repair simple jewelry down here, but it's not, they're not craftsmen, per se, not like...
What about
Yeah,
enchanted type jewelry?
Enchanted jewelry.
Mm.
Enchantments are, their own thing. You can really enchant just about anything. I once found an enchanted rock, just had a very
You ever
fine
see one of
scribes.
these? And you just stick my arm straight up in the air.
Oh! He pulls up his sleeve a little bit. Yes, I have.
You tell me where you got yours, I'll tell you where I got mine.
Chances are we got them in the similar place, just at different times.
Did I just witness a show me yours and I'll show you mine situation?
Carefully hides
Just come
his...
from a brothel.
Again, did just come from a brothel. I would not announce it loudly that you have those, but the fact that we're in a similar bondage, if you will.
Oh, great. It's a bondage situation now. It's gone.
If you are seeking a means of rectifying that particular avenue or situation, unfortunately, I have yet to encounter the means in the time during which I have had this ailment that we share.
How many others would you say have suffered from this ailment around here?
Oh, there's a few. I don't know who they all are, but it's to my understanding, it's a means to an end. But if you're not careful, it can bring attention to yourself. That's unwanted. I mean, especially coming out of a brothel per se, you don't really want to spread things willy-nilly.
That's why we always use protection. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. And if you so happen to find a means to address our shared ailment, I would appreciate it. He became a lot more posh over time. He started off a lot more gruff and became a lot more posh. I don't know why.
He realized he was among friends and could freely express himself.
He doesn't have to sound so
Natural
gruff when he's, with friends.
Exactly.
Once you share ailments with others, I mean, there's no point. There's no point in hiding anything at that point.
Man to man, sharing some ailments.
Yes, quite.
Well, go to
God,
head
I'm
off.
sure glad I don't
and,
have a dirty mind. Otherwise, this could have been interpreted horribly.
Yes, quite. Well, off to not here. And he just kind of shuffles up his bundle, and you see him really pull his sleeves up, and just gotta make sure that they're all in a good situation, and off he goes.
To the northeast. Let's get a sling and
So he's pulling his sleeves up, but we're not supposed to bandy about with these bands on, these bracelets. Is he wearing multiple? Is he
I mean, he's like covering them. He's covering these,
Oh,
trying to
gotcha,
make sure
okay.
that up so that it covers, kind of, or down. I guess I use you pull your sleeves. It's relative, directional. I knew what I was trying to say, but the words don't do the matching. So
Just imagine it was your cousin saying that.
that doesn't make it better. That does not make it better.
It's
Oh,
all
much worse,
relative,
actually.
Relatives really do keep it in the family. Anyway, to the northeast, where you're going to try to see about getting a sling.
That's what I've been told.
Okay.
So I guess as we're walking, can we figure out kind of the layout of how to tell what's inside each different setup? I remember at one point you were talking about the color of the curtains and what they represented.
You were told ones to avoid was more specific. So give me for two things here. First one is give me a survival check. I'm going to say with advantage because you're taking your time as you meander.
Oh, thank goodness. Not better. A 10.
That's all right. You guys are moving at a slower pace than pretty much everyone else around you. As you take your time, kind of, taking everything in, trying to judge what's going on. I didn't apparently have a note of what I had said last time about what the colors were. My recollection is that you wanted to avoid the red curtains. Purple curtains were okay. If they had any gilding, it typically meant it was a much more upper scale place. And that there are other curtain colors that mean different things, but it was more specifically focused on you were looking for lodging places to stay. And maybe it was go for the purple, avoid the red, or was go for the red and avoid the purple. I want to say it was one of the two.
No, it was go for the purple, avoid the red. The brothel specifically had purple.
Okay, that's
for that reason.
Yep, and then if any of them really have any sort of gilding or shiny for the gray on there,
it's going to cost
it's
you more.
all yes by a decent amount was the implication you were given. There are kind of sort of curtains of pretty much any color, and some of the shops straight up just have an open space available and you can see right in. Several of them are restaurant-ish. You can see them serving simple foods, very home cooking style. You can actually see towards the backs of many of them where there are just some folks just kind of cooking up stuff. Some of the smoke is just kind of coming across the top of the tents or the top of the structures and kind of just floating up. Think parts of the Caribbean when they're in Singapore and they're kind of just like walking around, you just see like all of the streets and all the busyness kind of going on, and they're kind of closed in as they head towards the bathhouse in that section. Think of it like that, but just a little bit tighter, and just the fog of all of the activity just kind of stays in the air as people are bustling around and doing their thing. You do see a medical tent of sorts. There's someone who's got some marks and burns on their side, just kind of like sitting in a chair, as another person's just kind of like carefully cleaning and stitching them up in a rather open medical spot. This guy also has, multiple scars and things on his side, and so this just appears to be another to the mix.
And gets distracted by his nose.
It's an interesting nose. You see that one side is actually pitted slightly, and then it's missing kind of a hook mark out of the other side.
I meant Penn got distracted by the scents around.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the person who is having surgery done, kind of sort of openly, and
no,
you just like the
thank
smells.
you.
Okay.
Thank you for giving me a great description of this guy's nose.
More than happy to. Well, it's funny because I have like this whole vision in my head of what this guy looks like. He's actually a taller Verdun, so he's much darker skin.
Also, Renningham should be like trying to make friends. Oh man, so like Penn should nudge Renningham and be like, "Hey, is that your uncle?"
Oh, coming from the tiefling, that's hilarious.
Stuart, you are muted.
I walk up to him and I go, Uncle Henry, it's been too long.
Roll me some percentile die.
I love how we can't get through a single
88.
section of this campaign.
It's not your actual uncle.
Drive a plot.
Right. And I knew that. And he giving me this weird look, and I just turn and look directly at Penn.
Penn just nods. It's good of you to say hi to your relatives, and continues walking.
There was a 1% chance that it was actually your uncle, and just that would have been a whole fun experience. But
that would have been amazing.
And then as we're passing by, I go, tieflings, and roll my eyes and keep walking. And he's like, yeah, tieflings. I know.
And then he winces as the next kind of like action on his wound kind of happens. For a Verdun, usually they stay very youthful looking for a long time. This guy had definitely looked aged, just tired, kind of beat up, kind of scarred. And Renningham, you kind of get the familiar sensation of a thought being projected into your head in the Verdun fashion of, only you do the half of the people who are down here. Otherwise, you do see a shop that is selling lots of knives and short blades that all appear to be kind of hewn together from just various pieces of scrap metal. They are not really refined in any sort of way. Some of them might have been at one point. One looks like it was a blade that had been broken and they just kind of like rehoned points out of it because the handle is disproportionate to the blade and things like that. And they're cheap. A copper or two, as you see someone just kind of sitting there behind the grind wheel, just kind of going at it. Sparks kind of going. It has that nice metallic-y smell in the air, and things are just kind of covered in undefinable grease and just kind of going at it. Because for the most part, you haven't seen many people who are armed. compared to you guys. You guys are armed to the gills, whereas most of these folks are just your average working class. And with what the other guy had mentioned is a lot of the weapons in the storehouse are checked in and checked out, as opposed to, just kind of made available. So little shops like this just kind of fits in.
Do I notice? Oh.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do I notice if the guy that's running the shop has the thing on his wrist? Or is that something
Roll me a perception check with disadvantage, unfortunately.
that was a 3.
Nope. He is a very dirty, blacksmithy kind of looking guy. Sitting on a stool, cranking a pedal with his feet, grinding for the grindstone, just kind of cleaning up blades. Other shops just have like a random assortment of wares. There's lots of like little pawn shop, little consignment style. Some have some nice jewelry kind of hanging there, but they're hanging there behind the counter.
Bob, did you see a sling at the last place we were at?
Not at the last place, and I'm not seeing one at this one either. I'm seeing a whole bunch of metal.
Okay, I'll walk up to the guy making the weapons, and I'll put my arm out and I'll say, "Do you know?" Oh, I don't have one on. I'll say, "I know
You're
you
gonna
make
grab me
weapons."
by the ankle and point to mine and say, "Do you seen one of these before?"
No, I'm gonna say, "I know you make weapons, but do you remove metal that seems to be stuck on other people?"
You notice that this individual is mostly bald on top, some hair kind of growing down the sides of his head and down his back, and he looks up and it's a old, grizzled dwarf. Big scar kind of hewn down part of his face. His one eye is kind of whited out from it. And with his good eye, he's kind of like looking at you. Jewelry? Stuck to your arm?
Of the sorts, my friend here seems to have come down with a sort of ailment that he can't seem to kick, and we're trying to find a way to get him
Ailments,
better.
that's
One would say.
something. You work in the foundry? How did he get metal stuck in his eyes?
I just nod at Renningham and
I just stick my arm up. It's stuck.
And that's not something I do.
do you know who does?
What do you do?
One at a time. So who does fancy shit like that? I don't know. That looks like some crossed lover wants to keep tabs on someone. You're gonna have to find a magic folk to deal with that sort of nonsense. I just grab things that can be turned into other things. And the most popular thing that I make are the sharp things, and so I can no longer work the way I need to work to make the real money, so I do this instead to make more than no money and stay alive. And so I make sharp things, and I make things that aren't sharp, so that folks can have the things that they want to buy. Do you want a short, sharp thing, a long, sharp thing? Do you want a wide, sharp thing, a narrow, sharp thing, a discreet, sharp thing?
You have a
No,
sharp
I
thing
want
that
you
can
to-
cut this off?
Yeah.
I can cut your arm off.
Could you put it back on?
No.
Well, what good is that?
if you pay him, it'll be a lot of good to him.
Well, but that's good. I want good to me.
Well, you need to specify that
Do you
part.
think if
Sorry.
I had the powers to put your arm back on, I wouldn't have used said power to fix this?
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
Whenever I can I jump in for a second?
By all means.
I'm looking for a non-sharp thing. Do you think you could help me out with something that's not sharp?
It depends on how not sharp it needs to be, and how would you just. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a sling. Do you have one?
Do I have one right now? No, but I have to replace handles sometimes, so I've got leather. I can. Do you know how much length and what are you looking to throw?
I'm looking to throw a rock. So, just a standard sling length, just a little bit total length. What is it called when you have both of them together as opposed to when you have both ends? There's a name for it. I can't remember it. Oh well,
I'm
just
not well
just
versed
under
on
arm's
sling
length.
terminology here, so just kind of. Okay, well, standard sling. Well,
Yeah.
give me just a second, and he just kind of stands up, kicks his stool over, and it slides 8 feet, and he goes and sits down in front of it, or sits down on it again, picks up a box that's on the ground, just kind of starts rifling through, and he picks up a bundle of very old, dry-looking leather, and just kind of sets it aside, and then rifles through and sets that one down, and goes through another one, and doesn't find what he's looking for, and sets that one down, and you can hear him start kind of grumbling himself, and we got to store shit somewhere. It's just there it is, and you hear a jingling box, and it's a bunch of round rings, and he takes the leather and goes over and pulls out some tools and just kind of quickly punches, pulls, cuts some strips, and just kind of right there, right in front of you, he's just kind of throwing together a sling, where he's tying stuff through. He puts some riveted eyelets, to keep the whole thing together kind of nicely, and takes about 15 minutes and of him just kind of fuddling around with it and trying to get the lengths of the leather just right, and he's kind of twisting them, trying to get it to stay kind of taut without stretching too much, as you don't want it to go too crazy when you're throwing it or anything else like that. You can see he's being very anal about this craft that you've asked of him, and it comes back, and it's pretty decent looking sling, outside of the fact that it's just kind of old leather. I mean, he's oiled it, he's cleaned it, it's got 3 different tones to it. One string is different than the other string, and the patch in the middle, but otherwise looks pretty solid. And 2 silver.
Okie dokie. Expensive,
Yeah.
but okie dokie.
Look, man, I don't get a whole lot of
Hey,
that.
I'm not complaining. I'm just
down
giving you
here.
the money.
Nope. I understand. Anything else I can help you guys with here?
Yeah, can we rewind to you said that we should talk to the magic folk about removing. Can you just tell me where I can go to talk to the magic folk that you referred to?
You got a magic folk here. Kind of just points over at Penn. I don't deal with that much. We don't have a lot of that here.
Okay.
Especially with jewelry. What does this look like? You want to propose? What is this? You came here to buy jewelry. You came here to the foundry to buy jewelry. You understand that when they pull the gems out of the ground in the mines, when they find them, they don't do much with them here. Occasionally they do stuff with them here, but they don't do much with them here. They ship that shit out.
Don't they cut them here?
No, that's a craftsman's job. We do foundry work here. you think I got this? And you can see it's like, a deep cut, burned kind of in. Like the skin just doesn't look right. It didn't heal correctly in any. Do you think we do find crafts work like that here unless we absolutely have to?
I guess not. No need to get an attitude, sir.
Sorry. I get that way sometimes. It's a condition.
Seems like you got a few of those.
All right there, friend. Do you need anything else that I, in my place here, can assist you with?
Nope. Have a great day, sir.
Don't let the door hit you on your ass on the way out.
What did you say to me? No.
And he just kind of kicks the chair back over. You hear the grindstone get back at it again.
Oh, man. I want to do something really.
What is it you want to do? What were you saying?
I said I want to do something really mean, but I'm not going to. That Clore says that out loud to the group as they walk out.
I think it's a moment of personal growth that you held on. Proud of you.
At least some of us can grow.
Give me a couple 100 years. I'll get there. So he couldn't help us. Where to next? I'm gonna start asking people on the street.
Let's start asking people on the street.
Okay. I mean, you've also just ruled out the need to go to the armory kind of spot, so that's at least handled. You do still have the outfitters who may also have information. So between here and the outfitters, you're just gonna kind of ask random people.
Can I
Between
just
here and
say-
the outfitters, can we just keep look for people who are overly covering up their wrists, or maybe catch a glimpse of people who may also be.
What I love is that the posh orc guy was like, hey, you might want to keep that on the down low. And now they're like, we're just going to go ask random people on the street. Hey, do you happen to have a tracking bracelet on you at all?
Yeah, I
you see
think
I
mine?
mean, the thing is, though, we don't want to, we're trying to make noise because we're trying to find him, right?
yeah.
No, I mean, it's like if you go to prison and someone offers you valuable advice for how to survive, and instead you're like, I'm gonna go punch the biggest guy that I see. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna cause a food fight in the mess hall. Instead, you know, you've got a guy who's
prison
like,
rules. Come on. You gotta find the biggest guy in the room, punch him, and they know one of two things. Either you're just insane or you're the new big guy. So
well, no, but I mean, you know, you've got the orc who's like,
Well, let's try a
That's pretty
different
cool.
example. Let's say you go to prison and they say, don't drop the soap. So you start throwing the soap on the floor.
that's a fucked up situation right there.
that's a really messed up joke. Anyway, I just find it funny, and it's very in character for our group to be like, yeah, we got valuable advice from someone. Let's do the exact opposite.
Yeah. It's fun. Maybe. We'll see. So is there like a cafeteria?
Did you say cafeteria?
Cafeteria.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
If you
Are you-
wild shape, then we can make it a cafeteria.
I know I have cats, but not
Oh my
really
gosh, a
big fan.
cat cafe just full of druids in wild shape.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's actually like a secret hideout, and they're pretending to be tabaxis.
Sounds like we've been there before.
Oh,
I don't
For a
know. The Druid
callback.
Cat Cafe would be like a viable business plan, I think. Imagine how successful it would be.
Panthers everywhere.
Forget this path that we're currently on. Let's start a cafe.
let's start a cat cafe.
Can we not do it underground though? Because we're still underground.
Yeah, not start underground.
We'll just make our own like village off of the main train line, and then people can visit us on their way to and from work. There's like a built-in stopping point right now anyway.
I think if we can, I don't know.
You're talking about making a small cafe at the way station, like in between here and Golden Spires? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
We're gonna build a town. And we're gonna build it right here. What's around here? A whole lot of nothing, but we're gonna build a town.
Oh, and of course, you know, the issue with building that town in the middle of nowhere is that there's still a creature out there that will give you to do.
Is there though? There's only a message on a board somewhere, and maybe some red eyes that someone saw in the distance. Who knows? Anyway, where are you guys headed? You guys are Rittingham. Are you actually gonna just kind of like, hey, anyone know what this is? Like, we can go that route. We can do that. I'm prepared.
I think. Well, I mean, I kind of want to, but it seems like it could get us into trouble. I'm curious if anyone has a better idea. It's not a very good idea.
I mean, let's just walk to the outfitters, and then if we
Try
see
it from there.
something, if we see something on the way, we can do something.
Maybe on our way to the outfitters, I'm not gonna be holding it up, but I am gonna like lift my sleeve so that it's kind of obvious that it's on me.
Ooh. Like
Okay.
like
Like I'm not
Vision.
advertising it, but it's there. And if people see it, some people are like, "Oh, that's a nifty little cuff he has," and then other people, the people that know, are gonna see it and be like, "Oh,
oh,
interesting."
Are you looking for people who react to it?
Yeah, keeping my head on a swivel to see if there are people that make certain like people that look twice, or people that are like maybe being a little whispery about it.
I also
right.
would like to help him look for these people.
All right. So if you're going to help Rittingham, I want you to roll 3 perception checks, basically. And each of them are going to be with advantage because you have another set of eyes. So
Okay. First check is an 11. Second one, 18. Third one, 12.
and that's with advantage.
Yep.
Okay.
11, 18, 12.
11. All right. So you guys are still making your way out. You do pass a small building that has a faintly like blend of salty and sweet smell. It's a little bit cleaner than the rest of the other locations. And you see a small glass case that happens to have some not the most refined looking, but definitely passable baked goods, pastries.
Ooh.
They even have these dough twisted into a knot so that it has like multiple eyelets and just kind of like hung up there and it appears to be covered in salt. There are these other ones that look to be extruded in a star shape in a long way, and they coated in sugar and cinnamon. The sign says pretzels over the star-shaped ones, and churro over the knotted ones.
Oh, this is definitely a front for something.
And saunters up. I would like one of your pretzels, please.
Turn and see. You're not really sure. It's definitely female, but the stature and the let's just say body shape would have told you that it was a halfling. But the skin color and the shape of the ears and the smile has a little extra grit and pointiness to the teeth that's very goblin-like. And just with a big, happy, slightly rosy cheeks on the greenish skin. I'll get you something right up. You want one of the pretzels?
Yes.
These are some of my favorites. We squeeze them out and deep fry them and whatever fats we can get. And sugar's hard to come by, but it tastes real good. And cinnamon is a little secret prestidigitation down there, so it's not going to really make it much further than that, but, gets the job done. Tastes good. That's, it'll be two copper for a pretzel.
10 gives 3, 1 is a tip.
Tipping culture's getting out of control.
That's nuts. 50%. You're crazy.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Is there anything else I can do for you? Anything
Well-
at all?
You are magic. Running in.
We'll dabble a little bit here and there. Runs in the family.
I'm magic. What do I need to do?
I grab Rinningham's arm and set it up on the table. And I say, he'll take a pretzel as well, and I'll pull his sleeve up. And anything you can do about this.
Much I can do about something like that, and I'd appreciate if you don't come back in here with things like that,
If you
sir.
don't come back in here now, you hear?
I'm gonna ask you very politely to leave. She just
And
kind
go-
of keeps the smile, eyes kind of stay wide, staring dead at you. Please, sooner rather than
Oof, the
later.
customer service smile. Ouch.
Okay, we'll leave. Where exactly do you think we should go if we're dealing with such
Not
issues?
There, honestly.
And saunters away with his pretzel.
I hope you enjoy that, dearie.
I don't know if I want to leave. Staring back.
No.
Are you trying to cause a problem, sir?
As you can tell, we already have a problem. We're trying to solve that problem.
I do not need those sorts of things here in my establishment. And I am going to one more time kindly ask you to vacate the premises.
All right. Rinningham, step outside, please.
I don't know. It sounds like she knows something.
No, step outside, please.
No, all right. I'm taking a pretzel though.
Yeah. Penn has one. Go share.
Oh, good.
It's gonna be 2 copper.
As Rinningham walks out, I'll put one gold on the table, and I'll look at the vendor and I will say, I don't have one on. There's none left in here. What can you tell me?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be leading?
Yeah, I thought you walked out with Pennon.
No, I'm still hanging out like just do.
Okay, Bob, go outside.
Roll deception question.
Okay. I'll go outside.
Bob is holding so incredibly still that he appears invisible to the naked eye.
Out the door.
How many of you brought those in here?
I think only one or two had them. We don't really know what they are. We are just trying to get them removed.
You
I don't have one
get
on.
one without knowing what they are.
Well, we were kind of tricked into putting them on.
That's very rarely the case, in my experience. And that's part of why, for the last time, before this turns very unpleasant for all of us, that I'm going to ask you to leave.
Oh, I really don't. Second, I gotta read something on here. All right. I will cast mage armor on myself.
Oh yeah, she's not going to notice that.
Oh yeah, no. I'm
I
doing it
think
so
he's
that
counting on it.
I'm counting on it.
Oh
And-
boy, here we go.
And then I will say only some of us find those things unpleasant. And then I'll walk out.
Tuck's face.
Mm,
Just to make sure we're on the same page here. You are going to openly cast Mage Armor,
yes.
burn a spell slot.
Except for I can cast it at will.
You can cast Mage Armor at will.
Yeah. Suck it. Eldritch Invocation, baby.
Nice.
You gotta love the magic sugar baby bonus that he gets.
He keeps me in the finest spells.
I didn't realize that allowed you to do it as...
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's kind of unbalanced, because that is a very useful spell that lasts 8 whole hours, and you can just use it as often as you want for as long as you want, effectively. Wow!
love it,
I
though.
didn't
It's
realize
amazing.
that you didn't have to spend a casting on that, which also means that you kind of don't need the
Armor.
other components necessarily.
Well, he doesn't
'cause
need
it's-
material components to cast it. It's at
Yeah.
will, so burning a spell slot with no material components.
Yeah.
Magic sugar
So,
babies, everyone, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a little bit cheating, but not really. But also
I did not realize that you had that level of efficacy, we'll call it.
So I
Okay.
guess I'm trying to gauge her reaction. But I'm also
So, are you? Let's just for posterity here. Are you trying to intimidate her?
yes.
Please roll an intimidation check.
Oh wow.
You're scary.
I have a +5 and I rolled a 6. So some of you guys can do the math.
First nat 1 of the night. Oh.
Mm.
What come on, all that work I put in.
What's that?
So I do that, and then as I like turn to like slowly, like intimidatingly walk
You
out the door, I like trip over myself.
No. Here's what happens: is you turn to walk, but the door's closed, so you just walk into the door.
Oh, so I did in fact let the door hit me on the way out.
You know what? I
No
didn't have to come up
notes.
with it. You did. Go for it. Yeah.
Dang it.
You go
Well, that got
to
me.
like shove the door, and instead it's like just doesn't. It's you kind of push and it's a
pull door.
pull.
It's a pull door.
But my mage armor is up, so the only thing I heard is my pride.
It's a push and a pull. So like he stands there for an awkward amount of time trying to shake the door, and then he finally gets it open, and he
Yeah,
turns
just
around
shove.
and he says,
Shove,
he
shove.
tries to mean mugger, and he's got his mage armor, and he tries to slam the door, but it's one of those soft closes.
But she keeps the eyes wide and bright, and the smile just kind of.
Have a nice day.
What is the building made of?
Roll an investigation check.
And I have another at will spell that I'd like to cast at this moment.
Yeah, dude, send it through the front door.
16.
No. Why?
Her structure appears to be on one side, some collection of corrugated metals, that appear to be.
But on the other side,
Some are welded. Let me describe the structure. The rest of the structure, mostly away from where you like the focus of like the counter and everything. Basically, the rest of the space. Seems to be some of it canvas tarp, like lightly waterproofed materials. Some wood, just kind of like old boxes that seem to be broken down and kind of posted up together.
in the side that's like the metal, is there a
Mhm.
window?
Not that you can see.
Okay, well then I guess on the other side, in the corner where the boxes are, I'm going to cast Create Bonfire. Get this lady off.
Okay.
What, she stared at me for a solid 2 minutes. I'm going to see if I can make her blink.
Are you in any way going to try to be discreet about doing this in the middle of a busy street? Just before I'm going to give you an out,
You're
you are in
talking
a
to.
busy street.
Penn's gonna disassociate himself from this fight.
Not a fight.
Yet
So I think that what I'm going to do is, in the process of running into the door and tripping out the door, I'm going to use that as cover in casting the spell.
Okay.
Or no.
Because let's see. Yeah, it's verbal and somatic. So yeah, we're gonna try and be discreet and use me slamming into the door and tripping as the cover.
I'm going to need you to roll initiative.
Initiative.
You're trying to burn down her shop. She's watching you closely.
Territorial.
Well, it's a 19, and I wasn't going to. I was going to start the fire, and then its concentration immediately.
Oh
ended
yeah,
just
and
to
fires
scare.
fires don't always go out when you're done playing with them.
Well, that's her problem.
You didn't start
I
the
got a
fire.
19. I got a 19.
It's always burning since the world's been turning.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I have to build an encounter that I was not ready for. You unfortunately have really made this interesting.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I have to come up. I have to find the type of entity that I'm looking for.
Did you say entity?
There's at least N titties. One of my favorite jokes.
Sometimes there are pre-made types of enemy characters that a DM can pull up in a pinch when they need something. Like an enemy
Sometimes, yes,
spellcaster.
N titties.
We're going to run this encounter. So, you said you got a 19 on your
Yeah.
initiative. Right now, only you are in this encounter. Can everyone else roll initiative as well?
Okay.
Everyone?
You can use it to just GTFO if you want. That's
Mhm.
fine.
Ooh, not one. No, wait, that's a 7. Never mind.
Hey, I got a 7.
I thought that was
All
one.
right, and then Rinningham.
I got a 6.
6. Okay.
No.
Cool.
I feel
So,
like it makes sense.
Chlor, you used a surprise round effectively to kind of sort of start a problem. Now she gets to react accordingly.
Wait, I use a surprise round to
start the bonfire.
Oh,
So it is because of what you're trying to do. I that's why I wanted to make sure I understood what it was that you were actively trying to do and how you were trying to do it. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
22.
Uh, oh, okay. You felt a sensation go over your whole body as it chilled, and you're able to shake it off. And as the door kind of clicks shut behind you, you notice that your bonfire just goes out.
Okay.
Penn, Bob, Rittingham, you see Chlor walk out the door. Do you guys do anything? If you guys are taking actions of any sort, based off of any awareness of what may have taken place in there, the order would be Penn, Bob, then Rittingham. Otherwise, shit's about to get real.
Penn was already walking out while eating the pretzel and didn't have any interest in sticking around. So Penn was already wandering away onto his next.
And Rittingham was kicked
scent-induced-
out, and Bob was kicked out. So
Bob
you
was
see
kindly
Chlor
asked to
leave.
leave.
That is fair. Bob was kindly asked to leave.
Because I proposed the question, what am I, chopped liver? And it's like, no, but you can go. So Bob's just going to
Okay.
stand there leaning on his staff, watching to see what happens next. Just kind of out of the line of fire, kind of off to the side, like, huh, this will be interesting. This is a fight that I didn't get invited to. I think I'll just stand here for a second.
Chlor, you noticed that the bonfire went out immediately, and you had that chill sensation, go over your whole body for a moment before, before you stepped out. What are you doing next?
I'm just walking away. I'm gonna assume that she got the point, and I'm gonna walk. I wasn't trying to like fight her. I was trying to give her a little. You're not the only one that can do shit, and we're going to the next place to try and figure this out.
Oh, buddy. Okay. Well, cool. That makes it her turn.
Yeah, so I guess I'll take my full movement toward the direction that everyone was walking.
Okay. You take 13 points of damage as 3 bolts of magic missile just come out of the doorway. Basically, the doorway just gets kicked down. And you see this squat woman, eyes wide, smiling bright. And she just points her finger in your direction, and 3 bolts of energy pop out and then zero in on you for 13 points of damage.
Okay. So she's attacking me in the middle of...
You try to burn down my establishment after I kindly ask you to leave, you motherfucker.
And we're going to take a break for about 15 minutes or so. I feel like that's a good time.
What kind of damage was it?
It's considered force damage.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. Because I need to get another drink. And I'm gonna do some things and I now need to finish getting this encounter actually ready. Because you had to poke the bear, didn't you? You just had to do it. So
yeah,
all right, folks.
She's like the strongest person in the world.
Go get yourself some snacks, some beverages, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes for more of Chlor pissing off people that he shouldn't. Talk to you guys real soon. lever. They can't see me yet for some reason. Why didn't I? Okay, there we go. And we're back, I think. Everybody, hello? We good? Looks like it. Yeah. So,
Yep, we're
now
live.
that we're back from break, just gonna, just recap what happened before, before we went on break is, Clore had decided that he was going to, threaten the shopkeep. And then when the intimidation didn't really go the way he expected, he decided that he was going to set up bonfire in her kitchen or in the open space, and
Like
she
throwing a
didn't
tantrum.
take
Little kid.
too kindly to that, and so the door that he had kind of pushed against and couldn't open before he pulled it and did his thing. She kicked that door down handily, and then proceeded to fire some magic missiles at Clore. Hen, you are, gosh, probably like 40 feet away from all of this happening, because you had said you kind of started walking down away from everything. When it started getting a little tense in there, you hear the door kind of get smashed down, and then you can witness the familiar forms of magic being cast. What you going to do, if anything?
Is it like exploded onto the streets? Like it's like a Wild West showdown kind of deal?
Oh yeah, there's like splinters. Like the door is just kind of like in the middle, and then she's probably only 10 or 15 feet from Clore. She was like right on his tail.
Hen's gonna face what's happening and lean over to whatever passerby he's next to and what's happening? Why did the door blow up?
This passerby, definitely looks human. If he's half something, it's definitely the recessive set. I don't know, but we don't mess with her. We just enjoy treats. She's known for putting down some riffraff. People try to take advantage.
Does she usually kill them or just teach them a lesson?
Depends on what he did. He might be fucked. And then he just kind of walks off.
Hen's just gonna stand there.
All right.
Should be honesty.
His pretzel.
Bob, you are, not far, I guess, behind Hen, really.
Well, I was staying close enough to where I could get the show
Or-
because I was leaning on my stick.
Oh, you were just staying right. Okay, so
Yeah, I want to catch the show.
It's right in front of you. The show is happening live in the flesh. Are you doing anything in particular? Or are you just gonna let this play out?
Yeah. I'll do something. I'm gonna step forward and put myself between the two of them, and in the process, kind of put my hand on Clore's shoulder, and kind of just kind of, hey buddy, it's gonna be okay, and he's gonna get 3 hit points back as a result of that, and I'm just gonna step in front of him and look at Martha there, and it's like, hey, okay, we get it, he's a dumbass. Do we really need to continue?
Do you get it?
I think he's got it. I'm gonna have to fix him, and it looks like that hurt pretty good. I'm pretty sure he's figured it out.
Were you gonna fix my shop that he was ready to burn down?
Oh, come on. We both knew I wasn't gonna burn.
Hey,
it
shut the
down.
hell up. Let's take a look at it and see what we can do. You
I put it out, but it was such the principle of the matter.
Look, if you decide to fuck him up, I can't really stop you, but I am going to say that, I think he's figured out it was a bad. Shut the hell up. I think he's figured out it's a bad idea. you think there's any way we can work this out so that bygones can be bygones and he'll never come back to your shop again?
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's a 19 on the die for a 21.
Well, he did leave a gold on the counter, and I decided to not take it at first. But I suppose that will satisfy my frustrations with the situation. However, he will be killed on the spot if he ever steps inside again. Thank you.
That is wonderfully fair. Thank you.
She goes and picks up the door, just kind of takes it back to the shop, and you kind of can see where a bunch of the wood was splintered. It kind of seems to start stitching itself back together.
Ooh, a mending spell.
And then she opens it, and it now opens out into the alleyway. And then she kind of peeks out.
Maybe this is the easier way.
And she closes it back again. It's now a push door instead of a pull door from the inside.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna turn to Clore. It's like, okay, there you go. What happens next is up to you. Please don't
I
ask me
knew
to
she
do that
was
again.
scared of me the whole time.
I doubt it. I very seriously doubt it. Although there's a door there if you'd like to go find out.
Clore stares longingly at the door. In due time.
I was
Okay.
that went better than I expected.
Doug
was
spent the entire
amazing.
break preparing for an encounter. The
I was-
party destroys the encounter.
I was the least worried about that than anybody else.
Oh,
Confidence
buddy.
is always important.
All right. The stopping that everyone had done to figure out what the fuck was going on has subsided, and people have resumed their activity. But they're just kind of giving you guys plenty of space. It's like this is not a wide pathway, and they're trying to give you guys as much room as possible.
Like we're staying away from these dumbasses.
Basically.
All right, that adventure has concluded. What did we learn? Anything about our little bracelets and anklets? Did she suggest some place to go?
No. In fact, she went out of her way to hide any information that she knew about them, which is why I was a jerk in the first place.
You know, you can learn as much about something by what people don't say as you can about what they do say.
That's just fundamentally not true.
Okay.
But I look at Bob. Bob, what am I not saying right now?
Oh no. We're I get what you're saying. That's okay. We can move on.
So what I think I'm hearing you say,
No, what you
We
think
should
you're
kill
hearing
her.
us not say.
oh, well, now we probably should stick around and watch her because she knows something. She just doesn't want to say she knows something.
I agree.
You know what we need to do? We need to find out if she has any kids.
Oh,
Okay, I'm off to find Pen. That's it.
No, no.
Just some light kidnapping. No, I would never. I was just joking. I would. I don't want to bring kids into it. Nobody wants to bring kids
Wait,
into it.
Penn wanders back over like as they're all regrouping and here's the tail end of Rinningham's kidnapping plot. And then just reaches down and picks him up and holds him off the ground suddenly.
What the fuss is about?
See, we'll kidnap you. We can hold you for ransom, can't we? Don't you have family members who might know something? Weren't you supposed to be part of somebody who knows something about some things somewhere?
I know some things. I know. You know what? I know some things about a lot of things.
What
Do you
was the
not have
name of the shop?
anybody you could call on back at Golden Spires, Rinningham, that could tell us more about these, intricacies of upper society echelon schemes?
Well, you're making a lot of assumptions. First off, that they're upper echelon. I mean, this is backdoor kind of. I only associated with people of
This
the
sounds
highest
exactly
rapport.
like it would be right up your alley.
Backdoor, upper alley,
No,
right up his echelon.
I am intentionally being quiet now. Thank you.
What is the name of the shop that I am no longer just that foot in?
Martha's Haberdashery.
It's a bakery, isn't it?
It was a bakery. You went in because it smelled good.
Haberdashery.
I say we tailor. She knows something.
She's
But
not
was-
a tailor. She's a baker.
But was there a name? Was there a name to the shop?
You've noticed that none of the shops have names. There's no formal signage on anything. Give me an insight check.
Okay. Ooh, 15.
You get the sense that as far as any semblance of officiality is concerned, this shantytown does not exist.
Okay.
So names, signage, streets, not really a thing that's being tracked.
Okay.
It's a lot more just about knowing who's who, where's where, what's what.
So, think.
And since no one had asked her name, you don't know it.
But we're going to call her Martha anyway.
That's fine. I just figured I'd make sure you guys had a full awareness of what was what.
Yeah. We know that we don't know what we're talking about when we call her Martha.
So we found this place on the way to.
The Outfitters.
Wait, why? Yeah, why did we find this place? Yeah,
You were just walking down and asking about different shops, and I described another one.
Oh,
Because
let's
Penn
just keep
followed
walking
his
through.
nose.
I was going to say somebody fell in love with the pretzel.
Yeah, Penn was following his nose.
And that was a deep fried pretzel.
Yes,
the
with
churros.
cinnamon and sugar. And then the churros, which were, a dough that was twisted into a knot and covered in salt. So, how are those pretzels?
Tasty.
Good.
The cinnamon could be a little stronger.
Yeah, well, when it's added via magic, it's not exactly, it's not meant to wow you with flavor. It's just meant to not be bland. All right. you guys continue onward?
To
You
the
good, Clor?
outfitters.
To the outfitters? All right.
Outfitters.
Many of the shops you kind of see are a modge podge of different things. There's not a jeweler so much as you see any sort of crafts person working on jewelry, but definitely some of the consignment or pawn locations seem to have varying collections of jewelry, and some that look really fine are right out in the open, and some that look rather mundane are hidden in glass, or protected in glass cases behind the counter. And you kind of see some of the guys, pulling out large bags of coinage in order to exchange and get some of these pieces, and or they're looking for a decent looking slab of some sort of meat. The meals you guys had at the tavern the previous night were of decent quality, but what you're seeing here, just kind of cut and made available at some of these shops, is even just elevated a little bit more, cut above the rest, if you will. I did not plan on that one. I wasn't really going for it, but there it was, and so I took it. Ultimately, it seems that people who have some sort of speciality that they couldn't really put to use in one of the larger spots, they're trying to just make do here. You even see some quieter, shady looking folks. They're keeping to themselves. They're not really in the same garb as the rest of the workers. You don't see any guard. You don't see any real official individuals in here. Occasionally you see someone who has, a similar dress and wear as the one shift lead that you had met in the lodgings. Just kind of making their way around, or even just they're walking and right in front of them is a collection of either tired or maybe slightly inebriated, rabble rousers, just kind of sullenly kind of moving along as their boss just kind of kicks them through. Another couple minutes of meandering, and you've made your way out of the bulk of the shanty town. The path you've taken, unfortunately, is taking you more to the eastern side, and so you have to kind of make your way west again. Before, and you immediately begin to recognize some of the locations. You had come in here originally in this direction before heading to the lodging in the first place. This is where you met with the one authoritative individual who just seemed to kind of offhandedly mention that sometimes people come down here to disappear and stuff like that. If you guys remember that interaction in game, that was almost a week ago. But you can see here that there's different equipment setups, different folks. Almost everyone here appears to be on work duty. There's a distinct difference in the dress and the attention to detail. The buildings look in relatively decent order compared to where you just were at. Most equipment seems to be lined up in orderly fashion. You see folks kind of shuffling in through one side and making their way out the other way, sometimes with multiple goods in hand, sometimes with just a couple of things. Most of them are either heading towards the west, which is where you know that there's a lot of the work detail and work duties taking place. Only a handful are actually going through and then heading towards the dormitories, towards the barracks type setup. But you see a building that people are going in and coming out with equipment. Probably the outfitters.
Brittingham, you should probably take the lead on this one. I didn't do so well last time.
Oh, I think you did an okay job.
Thought you did wonderful.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Death?
So, Renningham, there's a steady moving line of folks. It's probably about 3 people wide. You can see them kind of making their way in pretty steadily. Pretty much everyone's taller than you. And as you make your way in, the tables themselves are stacked with all sorts of goods. And some of them are marked with a, the normal symbol for like, hey, this costs, 3 copper, 3 silver, 3 gold, whatever it is. Other ones are marked with a, it has a number, but then it has the emblem for the craftsman guild that basically runs the forge. And you recognize the hammer, the anvil, the whole setup, the fire beneath it. It's been the symbol as long as you've been around Golden Spires. And so you see there's for each item there appears to be a monetary value and whatever this other value is. There's hard hats, there's clothing, there's boots, there's gloves of regular work type gloves. I know what you're looking for is something related to your gloves, but is there anything else while you're in there that you are looking for, want to... Okay.
Nah. So I wanna go up to the main. I mean, I guess I'm waiting in line. Does the line seem to be moving at all?
It's moving pretty steadily. It's more just it's as it funnels in, people kind of start moving around to the different tables and things they're trying to get. Just collect their right supplies and imagine Home Depot but it has like a Walmart crowd of Black Friday. So, but it's densely packed as people are just trying to collect their stuff. Some people are actually pushing around carts. And they've piled on different random goods, bags of gravel, bags of sand, just other materials as they've needed. They're moving stuff along. Some of them you can see go up to where they pay, and some of them are putting golden coinage on the table. Other ones are taking out a badge and showing it before moving on.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess I want to see, is there any line that's focusing on wearable equipment? Like, you mentioned hard hats, but is there like gloves, pants, more like clothing items than actual equipment items?
Give me an investigation check.
Investigation. That is a 13.
So the height of the tables makes it a little bit difficult, but what you've managed to make out is there does appear to be several cordoned off sections. So there's one that seems to be for just your effectively disposable clothes. It's your basic leatherwork gloves. Some of them are even like a thick canvas material. Some look like your regular blacksmith's forge gloves. None of them that you see in that area have the engravings and the markings that you knew to check that your gloves were magical. There's a section for lots of tools, and it appears to be that the more valuable items are kind of further and further back into the store. Or the the outfitters, effectively. So you're heading, as you head further and further in, you do start seeing some more of the specialty equipment. There are anvils that are the same size, but one is marked with an interesting incantation kind of just engraved into the side of it, and that one is triple the price of the one next to it with lesser incantations. And then you have one with nothing carved in it at all, just your ye old basic anvil, and it's like, boom, 10 gold. So it's 10 gold, couple hundred gold, couple thousand gold, and it's just boom, 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 right here. but no gloves that you can see currently. There are definitely some enchanted goods.
Okay, well, I guess I want to be in line for the enchanted goods.
Okay.
And oh yeah.
No, go ahead.
I just was gonna wait until I got to the counter for the
Okay.
enchanted goods.
So as you're kind of going along, you see most people are just picking stuff up off the tables and just kind of like holding onto them as they head towards places to pay. However, there is a central kind of counter where you see behind it there are lots of finer tools that are being handed to individuals based off of by request. And you see pliers and you see hammers, and each of these things you can just tell from a distance immediately. Oh, these have extra markings. These have extra things going on with them. And you can see hanging, bottom right hook on the side there, is a set of gloves that looks very familiar to yours. Or very similar to yours.
Yeah. That's fine. So
You approach the counter, and unfortunately it is a good 6 inches over your head.
Relatable. I too am short.
I'm just kind of gonna go. I'm gonna clear my throat.
A tall, orcish man just kind of leans over. What could I get you, little one?
Well, I'm wondering if. So I actually have something from a friend of mine. Says he got it
Speed it
restored.
up. I got so many other people to serve. What do you want?
Oh, well, I was wondering if you had something else like this. I want a matching set. And I put my wrist with the bracelet on the counter.
You want a matching one of those?
Yeah,
We
that or
we
either one to match or if I could get this one taken off because it's not really my color, having one by itself. I'm not really the kind of guy that only wants one piece. I like to have matching sets, and really having just one is throwing off my style. So either get a second one, you could point me to how I could get a second one, or if you could take this one off of me, then maybe that's the answer. Who knows?
roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. That is an 18.
Okay. Well, kind of looks over his shoulders to some of the other guys who are kind of busy behind the counter answering requests, grabbing supplies off of it. And you actually start to see that some of these supplies are actually dropped down from like a center column and then shifting the goods up to the front. So like the all of the hooks that are holding tools are all basically auto refilling every time. I can take a break right now and point you in a particular direction that might be able to be of particular assistance, depending on how you answer a set of questions that I might have.
So I'm gonna turn and say, Claw, Bob Penn, this guy knows about the
What?
bracelets.
Wait, fuck. And this guy just straight up vanishes in front of you.
What does that mean?
Way to go. You scared him away.
What do you mean? I didn't say. I just was saying he was gonna help us out. What do you mean? You guys were at the back of the line. It's busy in here.
Yeah, but you threw him under the bus.
I didn't throw
The
him under
other-
bus. I just.
The other orcs that are basically working back there, and there's even a hobgoblin who just kind of like peeks his head over it, and they just kind of like step and shuffle in, and they're like, next person, and they just basically just start ignoring you, Rittingham.
Well, where'd that guy go? and I go up to a different. I mean, I'm still in the front of a line, but I walk over and I'm like, "Hey, excuse me, I was just being helped by some guy, and he disappeared."
I'm just going to walk out the door very nondescriptly. Just ignore everybody. Just leave.
Why
You
you
need to
disappear?
move.
Pull
You
the
need-
thing over my head and get myself nice and obscured and just slither out.
You need to move along, sir.
Why?
You're
What do you mean?
you're
I was being
holding up
helped.
the line. Your equipment
It's a
is in good
tabaxi.
condition. You are holding up the line.
My equipment's not in good condition. I told the other guy that I only have one. It's a bad
Sir?
look. I'm willing to pay for a second
Sir,
one.
you're messing with a Russian mob. Get out.
It is time for you to move and make way for paying customer who have goods.
I'm a paying customer. I was gonna pay the other guy.
He leans over the table and looks you dead in the eye. You are not going to be helped here.
Well, where can I be helped? Do you know where I can be helped?
Create.
I turn around and I say, "Hey, Claude, Bob, this guy says the other guy disappeared. He says he'll help."
Next person, please, and just continues to ignore you.
I in the people behind me in line, I turn and I say, "These guys know a lot about these bracelets here. They're saying that they can help and that they're really good and really efficient. I've just mention just don't be too loud about it, I guess, because they're kind of weird about their service. They don't really want to make money. I don't get it.
I don't know if you're trying to do deception, persuasion. I don't know what you're trying to do here. I don't know what role to make you do. What the hell?
Intimidation. It is the ultimate power move, DM.
Just do
Are they
a
intimidated by
generic. Just do a generic charisma check. Just middle of the road
That's what we settle on.
charisma check.
That is
It's
a 22.
something.
You definitely are gaining some attention as you talk about your bracelet. Some people look at you like you have 3 heads.
But I only have the one.
There is, however, a detectable
A delectable?
detectable percentage of people who look at you, listen to what you're saying, and then immediately just go to different lines.
Ooh, I'm watching them.
You can't watch for more than about 2 seconds because you are not tall enough to watch beyond that.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, so I can see the ones that are changing lines. I want to go stand behind some of them and be like, "Oh, I guess this must be a line that's faster if I want to get help with these bracelets." I got Ben, Penn, Bob, Clara. This line's faster. These people are standing in this one. It's a lot faster, I guess.
I need everyone who's trying to keep an eye on Penn, if any of you are, to roll perception checks. With disadvantage. I thought this drink was for Chlor dying, possibly. I did not realize it was for whatever the fuck Stuart's doing.
I rolled a natural 20, but with disadvantage, I got a 5.
That's worse, though.
The first wasted nat 20 of the session.
And I am outside by now, I hope.
Okay. Bob is outside, so he does not give 2 shits. Penn, are you checking in?
No, Penn's like browsing and shopping on his own.
Rinningham, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Guys. A wisdom saving throw?
A wisdom saving throw.
This evening is going great.
That's a 2. Wait, no, saving throw. Sorry. Oh no, I have advantage on wisdom saving throws. That's good.
Wait, you have
That
advantage
is-
on wisdom saving throws?
I do. And
Dan.
that's a 6.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
So from 2 to a 6. All right.
Your vision starts to go blurry.
Hey, guys, I changed my mind. This line's not so great. I can't really.
And you hear
I'm
your
blinking
words
hard.
are coming out of your mouth are not, like, the words you're trying to say are not the noises you are hearing back. And they are getting quieter as you say them, and you pass out.
Oh,
So I just hit the
And
ground.
that's where we're gonna end today's session.
oh, oh no, not again.
But you guys are
Here
with me.
we
Like you're
go.
there.
But they're not.
Please, right though?
Oh, you were causing trouble, so they weren't paying attention to you.
You have one other person in the store, but again, it's like two different ends of Home Depot. And then you have other two folks who noped the fuck out as quickly as soon as you started doing what you do.
Don't worry, I'm there.
In spirit. From outside. Because you said you got out. Penn is the only one who said they were still inside.
No, I didn't say I got out.
You didn't say you went in.
You got me there.
Yeah, gotta go in first.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, man.
Let's go shopping somewhere, I guess. I don't know where they went.
Yeah, but we're not going into that place for quite a while.
Oh, okay, if you say so.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen is we're gonna hit
I
the
wonder if we can buy some
underground
rock
list
candy
of
in this
shops,
town.
and they're gonna be banned from everywhere by penalty of death or kidnapping.
On that sobering note, hopefully we'll be able to play next week and continue where we left off here with well, with that, cause you know, cause why not?
Okay, real quickly, just before we get out of here, I know that this is like the question that shouldn't be answered right now, but did anybody who works in the store even notice I was there? Or do I have, or more appropriately, do I have a high confidence that they did not notice me?
Give me 1 second here. We're gonna ask the universe that question. Give me a insight check.
Bam. 16.
You have a pretty high confidence that no one seems to think or care that you're in there. You're just another guy in the crowd.
Great.
So.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, ladies and gents, that's a wrap for tonight. And hopefully next week we can play some more. And yeah, glad to be back. Glad to be doing this again. Honestly, this feels like the best way to stream again is to kick off with some D&D because I've missed playing with you guys. And the absolute shenanigans. You guys had me in tears laughing earlier, so I will take it. All right. Until
Thank you, DM. It was super fun.
Until
Good
next
seeing
time.
you, everyone.
Let's just wrap up here and then we can chat because that's the thing. Yeah, you guys who are watching, we chat outside of the stream. I know, blasphemous. We're gonna go do that, and you guys can call it a night. Okay. Toodles.
Nighty night.